Hi, I'm Emile from BrainIT Consulting. This is a short walk through BrainIT free field guide number 6, Keep the Human Voice. Voice can make training easier to follow, make a product explanation feel personal, and make an instruction usable while someone is doing the work. It also carries identity and trust. So the guide begins with a practical question. What useful job should this voice do? Who will hear it, and who remains responsible for the result? Start with one voice job, not a tool. For example, prepare a review copy of this approved training script for the internal onboarding page. Name the audience, destination, approved words, useful finish, and final approver. Also name what stays outside the job. A training narrator does not invent policy. A marketing draft does not publish itself, and permission for one project does not quietly become permission for the next one. Next, choose a real, synthetic, or hybrid voice. Record the person when their presence, emotion, authority, or character carries the meaning. A local synthetic version may help with labeled production drafts when repeatability and editing speed matter. A hybrid can keep the human opening and closing while using synthetic audio for controlled supporting work. Use the simplest, trustworthy method. If the script, permission, or destination is unclear, stop and clarify the job first. Record a clean human baseline before comparing anything. Mark names, numbers, pauses, and emphasis. Keep the microphone position steady, run a quick level check, and preserve the original OBS file. Listen before processing it. Then record the passage version, file name, authorization, and file hash. For a fair comparison, match the listening level. Louder often sounds more impressive, even when it is not the better reading. The BrainIT experiment asks whether a local synthetic option can help production while the real recording remains the default. The human and local V3 versions use the same approved passage and are presented without labels. An earlier trial preferred the real OBS voice, while one V3 profile was kept as an optional draft or fallback. The listener checks correctness, natural phrasing, artifacts, and appropriate tone. A person decides what honestly represents the business. Local generation can avoid per-use API charges and keep working files on the production computer. It does not remove the need for permission, secure storage, license checks, or review. BrainIT's tested toolchain uses OBS, Chatterbox V3, Whisper, and FFmpeg, but a successful generation is only a file. Compare it with the approved words, meaning, pacing, pronunciation, artifacts, loudness, and destination format. Then record the named reviewer and the decision. This workflow can support several useful jobs. Marketing teams can prepare internal timing drafts. Editing studios can use scratch reads and plan pickups. HR teams can narrate approved lessons. Standard operating procedures can be heard while the work is being done. Product demos can test pacing before the final recording. Audio can also improve access when it is provided alongside usable text and captions. The value is a controlled process, not simply more audio. The safest first integration ends in a review queue, not a public channel. The request includes the script, audience, destination, and voice authorization. The system prepares a labeled draft and a receipt. The named person accepts, revises, replaces, or rejects it. Release is a separate, deliberate action. Permission should be purpose-specific. Licenses should match the exact stack. Disclosure should fit the context, and voice files should be controlled. Automated outbound calling is a different project and is outside this guide. The voice workflow card records the job, destination, approved words, speaker permission, method, checks, approver, fallback, and retention plan. You can use it entirely on your own. If a second pair of ears would help, BrainIT can review one small voice job or help test a local prototype inside a controlled workflow. The link with this video takes you to the complete guide. Choose one voice job, keep the human decision visible, and let the tool support the work without taking over the voice.